because communication was done in Arabic. When he was about 8, almost 90, he was sick, senile, and then communication broke down. So that is the last language he could speak was Arabic. So this is why we have to do that. Why it happens to us. So the last language, the first language mastered was Arabic, the second was Indonesian, and maybe after that Japanese. His first wife was in Saudi Arabia, the first wife, and so many children in Saudi Arabia. And then he went to Cairo, Egypt, had another wife. So a man likes getting married. I think it's a good thing. And then he went to Madura. He got married. He had a child, a daughter in Pamekasan. And then he went to a village in Malang, had a son. And finally he ended up in Malang, had 4 children. One of them was my wife. So the language spoken last before he passed away was Arabic. In terms of linguistics, what does it mean? I think later when you have children, normally you do other. As soon as the baby is born, you will do other to the ears of the child. What is the implication? The first sounds entering into the brain of a child is that you admit it yourself, you admit the child to be a Muslim. I do for Christianity, I don't know. But Muslim adhan is compulsory to implant the first sounds to be remembered by your child. Why? Because later it is expected before a person dies, at least you remember Sahadat, admitting that you are a Muslim, and then you pass away, you will die in the Islamic way. You go to heaven, hopefully. So this is the knowledge of linguistics. The first language acquired, you may have the Japanese, Indonesian, English. If you become senile, you will come back to the Japanese. The first word entering into your brain is in Arabic. At least when you die, Sahadat will be the last word coming out from your mouth. There is a promise. If that is the last word, I think God has promised that you would go to heaven. It's a matter of belief. So this is the relationship between linguistics and why there is a logic behind that. Because your brain, the first thing coming into your brain will be implanted there forever, and it will never be forgotten. So this is the role of the storage of knowledge, linguistic hippocampus. So it is expected that your brain will store whatever you study. Your impression of the world will be stored here. Therefore it is called the campus. The campus, campus is a place, a small world. Campus is the representation of the world. The knowledge of the world will be in your brain. You know a lot about anything. You know about the world because you have got a brain. You know America, even if you have never been to America. You know a lot of things. It is stored in your brain. In the form, absorbing the knowledge by 5 senses. One of the instruments, not necessarily all, is by the language. It can be in English, it can be in Japanese, it can be in Indonesian. So to store the knowledge coming to your brain, there are many ways. One of them by means of the language. other things by other senses. So God has provided you 5 senses to absorb the world. So campus is a representation of the world. So therefore it is called university, meaning that university from universe. That is a place where you can get all understanding of the world. So university is a representation of the universe. All sciences can be obtained in the universe. Campus, it means you live daily in and out. You live there, you eat there, you study in the campus. But not in Tuban. Here there is no place you live. Any place for sleeping? I don't see anyone living here. I have a cat there, there is a cat. So campus is supposed to be where everybody sleeps and eats and studies and think and communicate. But not IPDN. IPDN. Or STP.
STPDN.
STPDN. Because you go there, Jalmo Moro, Jalmo Mati. But here, here, Unirow, it's a safe place to study. You get a count.
Masa Allah.
Yeah. You get, you already made 1/3. You can get your money back. I think you can get the more money from
100%. Discount 100%.
Okay, you go to the office and you'll get 3,500 because you came late. So next time I'm going to write down those who come late, and then after that I'll submit the names to the administration. If you come here on time, you have to pay full 5,000. Half the time, 50%. If you are absent, you get full refund. Okay, back again to the nature of the brain. Linguistic, the center is in the brain. So therefore we have to learn the nature of the language. Language is so complicated, so complex. To understand it is difficult. It is expected, as I said, that the brain is the center in which you can get the knowledge. You gain the knowledge. So therefore the center is called the campus. Theory, it is metaphorical expression. You live, you study, you play, you sleep. Interaction among students. So therefore it is called university. Universe. The language, like laboratory. Laboratory is a small world because in the laboratory there will be some scholars and students who will conduct research. Because if you have to live for your whole life to understand the world for, say, the year of 2, 3, 4 primary school until 60 years, it takes too long. In order that we can understand the world, it is compressed. In the laboratory, you can see a mini world, you conduct experiments which represent the actual life. And then within a short time, you can understand the nature of the science of the world. So that is the function of laboratory. A big world, universe, compressed into small world. Short time, shorter in terms of time, in terms of the size, and we can understand the world. This is the function of laboratory. And also language lab, language laboratory. It is expected if you work here within a short time, you can speak English well. Laboratory. Because if you have to live in England, it will take too long. So it's better you have the language laboratory, artificial way of acquiring the language. So you have got, I don't know, is it still functioning?
Yes.
Still working well? I hope so. Anyway. So it is expected by maybe 6 months you can speak English well. Can you speak English well now? Not yet.
Not yet.
So
Yes.
it means that the language laboratory is not functioning well.
Industry.
So it is expected after being trained here, everybody will be able to speak like native speakers of English. But this laboratory is not functioning as expected. Because if you want to be like a native speaker of English, you have to live in England. You have to be born in England. Your parents must be Englishmen. Or as soon as you're born, you go to England for 10, 15, 20 years and you come back to Tuban. You can acquire the English language. But this language laboratory is only a small form of the artificial native speaker. Here you have got Mr. Budi, Mr. Mas Kuriasin, and me. And it is expected that your English, after you get your sarjana pendidikan, your English will be like native speaker. No way. Far away. But at least you are getting closer like native speaker. So, language acquisition, language learning takes quite a while. This is the reason when we study linguistics, expected you know the nature of the language. As soon as you know the nature of the language,